Today is going to be, of course, Thanksgiving. Anyway, okay. If it's all right with everybody here, I usually preach messages to myself. And I'm not just kidding. When I go in the Bible, it's about something I'm dealing with. So I wanted to talk to you this morning about this very thing. The word that Judy gave over here was spot on. And you know what? In fact, I read a note I wrote 10 years ago, and it said, why would God even think to give us more when we're not thankful for what we already have, right? And so I'll talk about that, though, because what that sounds like is a beat down, but it's really not. Because Thanksgiving is not a feeling, it's a state of mind that you get dragged into. All right, let's go. In our Constitution, these are the words. It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equally, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. And these rights are this, that among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's no guarantee that the government's going to make you happy or take care of you in any way. It just gives you the freedom to chase after whatever God's called you to do. And so I'm just telling you that right now in America and probably in the church, there's such an entitlement mentality that somebody owes me something, and just because you're drawing a breath, that means that somebody's got to pay for your tuition and whatever. You know, none of that stuff is guaranteed by any. In fact, it's not even guaranteed by God. There it isn't. Right? Okay, next page. This is the first one. Leviticus 22:29. So when you offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving, everybody say Thanksgiving. To the Lord, offer it of your own free will. This is different than any other offering. And he told them there were prescribed offerings and ceremonies that they had to do. But he said a thank offering is going to be on you. If you're thankful, you offer. And if you're not, then don't. Boy, I'm going to tell you right there, that's from the very beginning. Next page. Thanksgiving is an active choice. It is a decision. It's not a warm, fuzzy feeling that somehow overshadows you. It's a decision you make to be happy. Now, you know what? To be thankful. You know what? The problem is that when everything's going good, I can just be so thankful and teary-eyed and all that, but when all hell breaks loose, I have a tendency to slide over into being sorry for myself, and now I've lost sight of what I'm here. I'm off the tracks and in the ditch. It's a decision of the heart. It is a gift you give. He doesn't require it, but it's your chance to give something back for that great salvation that you have. There's no way we can measure or ever pay it back. But this is your opportunity to give him a gift back. It is not merely the feeling of, watch this. It is not merely the feeling of gratitude, but the expression of gratitude for something undeserved. I want to stay on that. I'm going to tell you something. We've gotten to where we're the most unexpressive bunch I've ever seen. That was great, Pastor. Really? I thought you were dead.
Come on now.
I was thinking to defibrillate you. I think, well, next page.
Wow.
In Romans chapter 1, I'm not going to read all this, but in this list, Paul is writing to the church at Rome. And he said all these things are listed in one list. Wickedness, greediness, sexual perversion, deception, lying, slanders, backbiting, talking about people, sociopathy. That means they have no conscience. They just do whatever. They have nothing that bothers them. Cruelty. And at the end of the list is murder. But you know what's at the top of the list? Next page. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful. What opened the door for the first list are these two things. Now, I'm just going to tell you something right now. If he's not God all the time, he's not God at all. If he's not God of your workplace, if he's not God of you, if he's not God of how you do everything in your life, when you leave here, you don't enter another world where you can be whoever you want to be. You've got to either be his or not be his at all.
Right. Amen.
And that's how I glorify him as God. I do what he said. Jesus said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Right? You just, to the best of our ability, right, we try to do what's pleasing in his sight. When I'm poised with a decision to where it'd be better for me to do this but this is going to make God look better, I got to do this. If everything in my flesh does not want to do that, I do it anyway. Because the wind and waves still know His name.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And I don't jump ship just because the first wave hits the bow.
That's right. Amen.
I'm going to do what He said to do. But the thing that we need to hang on to, and I think this is the most important part, and because it's Thanksgiving, if we're not thankful, I feel like we've just turned the radio off. When we're not thankful, we're not receiving the signal. Y'all follow what I'm saying? We've cut ourselves off from the Word of God, from the message of God, because we've taken ourselves out of a thankful posture, and we're sitting over here in the seat of the scornful. Everybody with me? Next page. Don't like that little seat? Okay, I'm going to do this quick today. Psalm 100 and verse number 4. These are some things about Thanksgiving that you may not have known. And it says, enter His gates with thanksgiving. But the word thanksgiving literally means, this is not something Charlie made up. In the Hebrew language, it means raising your hands. In other words, if you don't feel like it, and you don't even feel thankful, God accepts that.
Yeah, right.
That is to Him thanksgiving. It's like He's saying, okay, guess that's an offering. It's a sacrifice. God, I don't feel this way. My heart is broken. I've been betrayed. I don't know how I'm going to go on, but I'm going to give You glory. I'm going to honor You in the midst of this storm.
Amen.
I'm going to come into Your courts with praise and be thankful. It means literally to throw your hand at God. I used to watch these old timers that people are always throwing their hanky at God. I thought, why you don't tell me that?
Yeah.
They're throwing that hanky. That's where it came from. It's in the Bible. But I don't want us to be the churches that throwing hankies. I want you to kind of, feel it. And bless, the word bless literally means to kneel. So here's what I'm getting at. If you can't fight this fight mentally, look here. Get on your knees. Raise your hands and throw your praise and throw your worship and throw your adoration to God. Because when you start doing that, you come off this seat. And now you're back all way. Now you're here. And when you're here, everything's going to turn around. You know, it may be a storm at night, but joy is coming in the morning. You understand what I'm saying? Next page. So I just want you to realize this. When you come in here, I think what we're going to do is do some trainer strings. And what we'll do is we'll outfit you with some strings, and I'll pull your hands up and down to let you know. That was the point. You should have raised your hand right there. That was it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, we'll just... And then you'll get in the habit, you'll say, work those muscles out, and then that hand will go right up now, okay? All right. It's not a bad idea. It's a terrible idea. Next point. Thanksgiving, point number 1. Thanksgiving is the door to God's presence. I'm just going to tell you something. I know it says that, we could go and go to the Holy of Holies in a moment's notice, and we go running in, but there's a protocol of respect. Yes. When my dad was the principal of high school, I could go any day, any time, and see him. I knew that. But if I just come busting through the office and kicking his door open, I'm still his son, but what does that do to the people that work for him? Shows disrespect. That's what it does. So I'd make an appointment. I wouldn't, but anyway, at least be civil. Is he in the house? Say it with me. The door to God's presence is thanksgiving. Next page. In 2 Chronicles chapter 5, 13 and 14, they're dedicating the temple. David dreamed of this temple, and he didn't even get to it. Solomon, and they're dedicating this temple. They're bringing in all this gold and built this immaculate temple. Some historians say that the temples, the gold alone, was $1 billion in today's world. Can you imagine that? Man, if our Congress got a hold of that. But anyway. And so they're right in the middle of this whole thing. And he says, and then it came to pass when the trumpeters and the singers and the dancers and all the things were going on. And you know what's funny? They had the light show, they had the free coffee in the lobby, they had the dancers and the bell choir and all that stuff. But none of it brought the glory. God. Oh God, that's right. or the wax. None of it brought the glory of God. All the shenanigans, y'all stay with me. It's not burning, okay? If the tablecloth was on fire, I'd say the point, but it's just the wax is all out of it. And there you go. We'll scoop that right back up. It's just that I think that we get so trapped in our efforts and our religion. It's just the same thing. You know, you heard my story about the ham in the pan, right? Well, wait a minute if you heard the story of the ham in the pan. Okay, that's about everybody. Okay, good. Well, it's the holiday time, and there's 3 generations in one house: a great-grandma, grandma, and a mom. And mom came to the house and she had cooked a ham, but before she cooked the ham, she cut the ends off of it. And so her husband said, "Why are you doing that?" He said, "Well, that's because that's how my mama did." So he went and asked the grandma, said, "Why did you cut the ends off that ham?" He said, "Because that's the way my mama did." So he walked into the great-grandma and said, "Why did you cut the ends off the ham?" She said, "Because the pan I had was too small." And see, we get to doing stuff just because we did it. It worked last time. Let's sing that song again. Let's do that thing again. Because we figure that's what brings His presence. But what brings His presence is being thankful and giving glory to His name. You hear me? And when they started doing that, the glory of the Lord filled, everybody say filled, the house of God. Now watch this. What's the house of God? You know what people say in the South? It's good to be in the house of God. That's not correct. It's good to be the house of God. So when I want the glory to fill the house, I need to find a place to get thankful for something. Touch your neighbor, say amen. Next page. Thanksgiving number 2. Thanksgiving houses supernatural events. I don't know about you, but just saying I went to church is not enough for me. If I don't have an encounter with the power of God, it changes, and that we haven't done our job today. If we don't come out of here different than the way we came in, then we haven't done our job today. Because He's here. 2 or 3 are gathered together in His name. He's here. But He's waiting for you to open a portal of thanksgiving and praise and worship and let Him work in your life. Right?
That's right.
Anybody got an amen on that? Next page. In Psalm 69:30, and this is last point, it says, "I will praise the name of God with a song and will magnify Him with thanksgiving." You know what? We can't make God any bigger. But what He can become is bigger to us. See, when your problems are big and it looks like God is small, that's your cue to stop feeling sorry for yourself and examining your problem and turn to Him and begin to give Him thanksgiving for what you've got and begin to praise His name. Suddenly He begins to get big and your problem gets small. Next page. Thanksgiving number 3. It just resets my perspective. When I'm thankful, it resets my perspective. Because there's always somebody that's got it worse than you.
Always.
And sometimes you need to look around and go, you know, I may have had this happen, but they had that happen. And I tell you, it's kind of like I told my daughter, I said, I want to get Pep this emotional support status so we could fly with him on an airplane. But I thought, I'll be sitting there with my little dog in his little vest, and some wounded warrior, one wounded veteran will walk on and go, "Well, I'm sorry I couldn't get on this plane. I'm sorry, emotionally unstable, and I didn't have my little dog with me, but you went and lost your leg over, you know," and I'm thinking, I just couldn't do that. And so, Pep doesn't fly. But anyway. But it's just at the point where we, you know, I want you to understand this because we live in a life where everything has to happen for us right now. We've lost the ability to be patient. I've had 100 people tell me during this process I've been going through my shoulder to be patient. And I'm thinking, I am patient. I just want to be patient faster.
Yes, of course.
Next page. We're almost finished. But watch this. Psalm 126, 5 and 6. Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. Let me tell you something. What I said in the beginning, when everything's going well, it's so easy to be thankful. Christmas morning and you get the gift you wanted, it's easy to be thankful. Life's going just like you want it to. It's easy to be thankful. But when you need to be thankful the most is when it's not working. When I feel like I'm a failure. When I feel like God's mad at me. When I feel like whatever you're feeling that is contrary to what the Word says, and you know it says, you've got to do something to get out of that seat. And the only way out of this seat is to begin to worship and praise and be thankful. I'm going to be thankful for what I have. Lord God, if this is all I ever do and all I ever see, you don't owe me a thing. You gave your life for me at Calvary. If I have to walk on broken glass the rest of my life, then you're enough for me.
Yes, God. Amen.
Because this is the point. I don't know where you are in your life. The reason I put this message together, I know it was Thanksgiving, but I found myself not being thankful. I've been in pain a lot. And I've been afraid. Come on, Pastor. And so I pray and ask God, and nothing happened. And when you do that a lot, then you start entertaining these other ideas. When bad things continually happen to you, you start entertaining all this other lie and all this other mess. And somewhere in there, you've got to hear that still small voice telling you that's a lie. And start to lead you out of the wilderness, lead you out of that dark place. And as you open your mouth, He can't lead you till you open your mouth. He doesn't know you received what He gave you till you open your mouth. You don't create it until you open your mouth. And even though you cannot say anything good, you can say, "It is well with my soul." Because if we don't learn to do that, it's too easy to knock over our candle. One punch. Is that all you got? Really? I've broken podiums that's better than you. Okay. Next page. Now watch this. The instant, everybody say instant. You begin to feel like someone owes you something. You develop an attitude that hinders you from entering God's presence, housing the supernatural, and you lose your perspective on God and basically everything else.
That's right.
So true. You cannot be overwhelmed. This is my quote for the day. You cannot be overwhelmed when you are perpetually thankful. Say that with me. You cannot be overwhelmed when you are perpetually thankful. You feel that? If I'm always thankful, I don't care what's coming, nothing can bowl me over. Because I haven't taken that exit off, to feel sorry for yourself land. Where you get a day pass, you get a life pass if you want it. But I just don't want to go there because I don't like the rides.
Right. No, that's right.
Instead of getting nauseous, I get bitter. Okay. It's good. It's good. If I feel like somebody owes me something, and you're not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you, if you live long enough, you're going to feel like God owes you something. I did the works, God. I did everything you said. Where is it? Now, I wouldn't say that to him. I wouldn't admit that to him. But in my heart, I feel like, where is it? I've been doing the work. Why is this guy? He's been in, 10 minutes? Hallelujah. I've been digging and shifting for 36 years. Where's mine? Is that anybody in the house? That's how don't judge me all you want. And I'm just saying that this is not a feeling. If you're waiting to feel better to get out of this place, you will not do it.
Right. Amen.
You have to, if you can't even open your mouth, you can do this.
Yes.
Come on, man. See, that's why He gave it to us. I can raise my hands and contained in there somewhere, I'm going to get fired up and I'm going to start going, you see what? And then it's going to spark something in me that I know something about Him, and I'm going to get to praise Him and be thankful. Now what's happening? I'm getting back over here and covenant. Woo!
That's right.
Next page. I want you to know that if you come here, you will not be burned by hot wax. It won't be like this. Put that on the website. I'm going to get probably emotional right here. I'm just going to let you know. Nothing else ever happens in my life. I've done so many things. I've gotten to do so many things and go so many places. what I'm finding out is that the things that you do and the places that you go don't last. The things that matter. You always come back to the things that matter.
That's right.
I'll tell you what I'm thankful for.
That's what's up. Amen.
I'm thankful for Brian Wallace. I don't know who these other people are, but
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm thankful for my wife and my children. And I'm so thankful that they're serving Jesus. And they're all married up and everything. Last night they were trying to figure out what kind of names to call Sherry and I when we have grandkids. I said, I'm Uncle Charley. Just get that. I don't know Pete Pop, whatever you sound, you drop a bunch of silverware. I want a real name. What was it, Dinky and Bang, Bang, Bong? I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Check for radon. This is not going the way I thought it would. That's great. I'm thankful to live in the greatest country on earth. We are blessed. We should be thankful every day we get up and praise God that we live in this country where you can be anything and everything you want to be. And we should pray for our country every day. I'm thankful. I'm really thankful for you guys. I love this church. I love what we've done. We've been here a long time. And the faces have changed, but you know what? A lot of you have hung in here with us over 20 years. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and how much I love you. And I think that we should appreciate each other. But see, here's the thing. If people come to church to visit, and they're looking for who's going to speak to me, you're in that entitlement mentality. Go in and introduce yourself. Go in and, you might find somebody that's shyer than you are, and you can help pull them out of their despair. Right? If we're always looking about who's going to do my stuff and what is in it for me, then you know what? We're not in the place where we need. That's not where the river flows. Next, without being cheesy, I'm thankful that I'm saved.
Thank you, Lord.
I was as lost as you can get, and He still found me.
Thank you, God.
And He introduced Himself to me, and I gave my heart, and I've never looked back. He's never disappointed. There's nothing in the world that I want, because I have found the one thing that fills the hole in my heart. No, it doesn't. It takes that old heart out and puts a new heart in it. Is that better? Stand with me. We're going to pray.